So with more on this historic run, we welcome in Golf Channel contributor Ron Sirak. And Ron, we just heard from Nelly that while this U.S. Open venue will be a new one to her, of course, 3 of the 6 events she just won were new venues to her as well. How historic is this run that we're witnessing right before our eyes?
Well, we're hearing her name thrown around with names like Louise Suggs and Annika Sorenstam and Nancy Lopez. That's pretty historic. But I think what we really got to grasp here, we're seeing the maturation of a player, both in terms of the quality of her game and in terms of her attitude about her game, that's lifting her to an entire level from being a star to being a superstar. She's pushed the ceiling incredibly high now, and it's going to be really fun to see where it goes from here.
Ron, I'm glad you mentioned that maturation because that's immediately where I go. You covered, obviously, her first major win back in 21. To see where she is now, I mean, shot out of a cannon to begin this season, 6 of 7, is incredible. What have you noticed most from that first major win to where she is now as it pertains to that maturation?
There's some technical stuff that's there, obviously. She was always a good iron player, but she's lifted that to a really high level right now. Hit 73% of her greens in regulation last year. She's hitting 76% this year, #1 on tour. That's helped lower her scoring average more than a half a stroke per round. But to me, the biggest thing that I see is her belief in herself. I think her belief has finally caught up to her ability. Look, good players know how to win with their A game. Great players learn how to win with their B game. And we saw that from her. She came into Liberty National off the disappointment of having her winning streak broken, where she didn't play that badly. Rose Zhang just played great. And she started out her final round on Sunday not playing well at all. She made 3 bogeys in the first 7 holes. She was turned in 38, but she made no bogeys over the last 11 holes, closed with a 33, turned what could have been a 74 or a 75 into a 71. That's what champions do. You make your bad rounds not that bad. And that's what she's starting to do right now. She really believes how good she is.
Ron, when we talk about Suggs or Lopez or Sorenstam or any of the greats, there are certain traits to great champions in any field of sport, certainly in golf. What is it that you see in her, aside from this confidence that you just noted? What is it about her makeup that is starting to put her into that realm?
The 3 greatest winners that I've covered are Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, and Annika Sorenstam. And what they had in common is they not only forgot their disappointments, they not only forgot their losses, they forgot their wins. If they won a golf tournament, they went out and played the next week as if they never won a tournament before in their life. They never lost that intensity and that desire. And I'm starting to see that in Nelly. She's going out there and giving it her all every time out there, not mailing in one shot, not mailing in one round. And that's really, I don't know if you can teach that in somebody. I think it's just something that's in somebody that makes them special. And I think she's now tapped into that part of herself, that passion.
Ron, fans of sport, media that cover sport, like all 3 of us sitting here enjoying this conversation, so many times it comes up in sport, especially in the sport of golf, needing a face of the sport. Scottie Scheffler's become that on the men's side, and clearly it's Nelly on the women's side, but both are very similar when you comp them in terms of they're not the eager, put them in front of the pulpit, let them preach, let them embrace the bright lights. As she continues on this path, shot out of a cannon, as she started to ease into being the face of the sport.
Yeah, I think both Scottie Scheffler and Nelly Korda are still sort of being underappreciated for what they're accomplishing because they are sort of low-key personalities. There's not that Tiger Woods dynamism about them. But I do think look, there's a Caitlin Clark effect here. Women's sports has been pushed to a front burner right now, and people are paying attention to it in a way that they never have before. And Nelly does have a chance to be that person for the LPGA, who can be the face of this tour, lift it to another level, and bring in those casual fans who sometimes they know that the LPGA is out there. They don't really pay a lot of attention to it. She can reach those casual fans and really grow the audience of the women's game.
You heard me mention when you first came on with us, Ron, that the U.S. Open course is not one that she's familiar with in Pennsylvania. And I'll put you on the spot, too. How much is the sky the limit? What are you expecting from her in our national championship?
First off, I can tell you I'm familiar with Lancaster Country Club. I went to college there and played golf there about 52 years ago, I think. It's a great William Flynn gem, and people are going to love it there. I don't expect to see Nelly Korda backing down at all. I think that she is at that level right now where, look, the great ones believe that they're going to win. What the great Tom Weisskopf quote about Jack Nicklaus on Sunday, Jack knew he was going to beat you. You knew Jack was going to beat you, and Jack knew that you knew that he was going to beat you. You know, I think Nelly's starting to get that attitude about herself. She's going out there expecting to win. That's a huge step for any athlete to have.
I got to say, Ron, I think me and Maddie are expecting much of the same when Nelly steps on any course with how she's playing. Ron, we really appreciate the time.